And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Wednesday, June 5th. I'm the host for today's program, Paul Demain, and many of the stories read here can also be found in our publication, News from Indian Country, or online at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories for the day. The haunting call of Native American wooden flutes are echoing over the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center this week. An inaugural gathering of the North American Flute Foundation will feature performances and exhibits over 3 days beginning June 6th in Townsend, Tennessee. The foundation is a nationwide organization that welcomes anyone with an interest in Native American flutes. Performances start at 10 a.m. daily, and there is a cost of $20 to attend the day's events. The goal of the event is to make the flute accessible and celebrate the instrument's role in Native American life, both past and present. A federal agency has dismissed a complaint seeking to ban the use of American Indian mascots in Michigan's K-12 schools. In February, the Michigan Department of Civil Rights cited 35 Michigan school districts for discrimination, saying their mascots reinforce stereotypes and hurt American Indian students' self-esteem and learning. But the U.S. Education Department's Office of Civil Rights denied the state's complaint last week. Federal officials say Michigan officials provided no specific examples of racial incidents or American Indian students suffering specific harm because of the reported discrimination. The state's Civil Rights Department said it's disappointed by the ruling and is considering its options. Michigan's complaint to the federal government has drawn criticism from Republican lawmakers who say it was misguided and done without input from local communities. The Shakopee Mdewakanton Sioux community in Minnesota has announced that it's donating more than $10 million to 18 tribes in 8 states. This brings their total donations to nearly $272 million since 1992, including nearly $190 million to other tribes, tribal organizations, and American Indian causes. The recipients of the latest round of tribal grants include the Flandreau Santee Sioux Tribe of South Dakota, $1 million for the tribe's new community center, Keweenaw Bay Indian Community in Michigan, $92,000 in each of the next 5 years for a tribal water monitoring program, Lower Brule Sioux Tribe of South Dakota, $500,000 for economic development and community improvement projects, the Lower Sioux Indian Community of Minnesota, $250,000, including $205,000 for a community recreation program and $45,000 for crisis intervention assistance. The Ponca Tribe of Oklahoma is going to receive $325,000 for a tribal agricultural program that supports a clean and healthy food sources for tribal members. Plans call for vegetable gardens, fruit trees, and livestock to be worked with there. The Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa of Wisconsin, $750,000, including $520,000 for the expansion of the tribe's Apostle Islands area marina, $150,000 for a land purchase, and $80,000 for a system that protects the tribe's casino with backup power and surge protection. The Red Lake Nation of Minnesota, 2 $750,000 grants, a total of $1.5 million, in the fiscal years 2013 and 14 for a new community center. This is in addition to a $27 million loan from the Shakopee Mdewakanton Sioux community to help fund a new casino and hotel. Other tribes include the Santee Sioux Nation of Nebraska, $550,000 for several projects, Spirit Lake Tribe of North Dakota, $700,000, Yankton Sioux Tribe of South Dakota, $415,000, Boys Fort Band of Chippewa in Minnesota, $1 million, Eastern Shawnee Tribe of Oklahoma, $400,000, the Lakoutere Band of Lake Superior, Ojibwe, $500,000, Rosebud Sioux Tribe of South Dakota, $500,000, Shoalwater Bay Tribe of Washington, $250,000, the Upper Sioux Community in Minnesota, $1 million, the White Earth Nation in Minnesota, $250,000, and the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska with another $500,000 there. The South Dakota Department of Education this week named the former director of the Federal Bureau of Indian Education as the interim director of Indian Education for the state. Keith Moore of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, was director of the BIE from 2010 to 2012. Prior to working there, Moore served as chief diversity officer at the University of South Dakota. From the year 2005 to 2009, he was South Dakota's Director of Indian Education. Moore, a member of the Rosebud Sioux tribe, is currently the Director of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in South Dakota. He holds a master's degree in secondary administration from South Dakota State University and a specialist degree in educational leadership from the Montana State University. Former Coushatta Tribal Chairman Loveland Poncho was re-elected to the position this last weekend. Poncho, who led the tribe for more than 20 years, will fill the position being vacated by Chairman Kevin Sickey, who did not seek re-election. Poncho will officially take office this week during inaugural ceremonies for elected officials. He will take office along with Jonathan Cernek, who was elected to his first term on the tribal council, and Gerald Poncho, who was elected to a second term on the council during a May 25th special election. The chairman and council members serve 4-year terms. A permit for drilling becomes usable for Gogebic Taconite Company this Saturday, June 8th, in the Pinocchio Mountain Range National Heritage Park of northern Wisconsin. A bitter fight over plans by out-of-state mining companies to open one of the world's largest open-pit mines pitted state Republicans against 11 Wisconsin tribes earlier this year. Those tribes adamantly opposed the huge mine operation as a threat to their wild rice and walleye spawning beds on the Bad River Ojibwe Reservation, and in general to off-reservation treaty harvesting rights in the ceded territory that was given to the U.S. government during the 1800s. Tribes reserve the right to hunt and fish on public lands, including those designated to be destroyed by the 1,000-foot deep, 3/4 of a mile wide, and 5 miles long in its first phase in an open pit. The Lakudere Ojibwe tribe opened a harvest Camp Village, which is open to the public for visiting on the same range about 2 weeks ago to inventory products covered by treaty harvest and observe activities of the mining company. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to say miigwech for joining with us, and come back again soon.